Europeans had been coming to the West African coast for centuries. The first were the Portuguese back in the 16th century, but the British weren't far behind. And I'm standing in the remains of one of the British trading posts that were put up here at the end of the 19th century. To this place came loads of palm oil and palm kernels, most of which was shipped to Liverpool for making into soap. And it came from the hinterland. At that time, it was a little-known country and ruled by a number of African kings, the most powerful of whom was the Oba of Benin. The first Portuguese visitors had brought back many stories of the Oba's military might and thought him so powerful that they took back an ambassador to Lisbon to be received by the King of Portugal. The Oba was a human god, so sacred that no commoner could look in his face. On the few occasions he left his palace, he was preceded by musicians and leopards, the symbols of his power. He owned dwarfs, just as European kings did at that time. He also practiced human sacrifice in order to sweeten his land with blood. Benin remained almost unchanged right into the 19th century, and then in January 1897, the vice-consul of a British trading settlement on the coast decided to visit the Oba. The traditional way to reach the city was to travel up the mangrove-lined creeks of the Niger Delta to the village of Ugoton, which marked the frontier with the Benin Kingdom. Messengers had been sent ahead by canoes with gifts to tell the Oba that the British vice-consul proposed to visit him. But as they traveled upriver, they met messengers on their way back with a reply. The Oba did not wish to see the British at this particular time. The party reached Ugoton on the afternoon of January the 3rd. On the way up, they had been collecting carriers, and now they had the 240 men that they needed to carry all their supplies. But here there were more messages from the Oba telling them not to come. The local people gave them vehement warnings. It would be very unwise to go to Benin now, they said, for the Oba was celebrating Igwe. Igwe was and is the most important of all Benin rituals. It was last held in 1964 when these pictures were taken. During it, the Oba salutes the shrines of the earlier god kings, his ancestors, and renews his divine power. He parades and dances, decked with coral crown and tunic, with ivory bracelets on his arms and bronze masks at his waist.